is driving me. Oh, that there's no denying. But do you even know what you're saying? The perilous of its words and disgracing their meaning. Oh, how. Welcome to the one-man show.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome back. Umpire here with Black Flag Racing TV. We've just finished some F1 racing. We are now here with Evo versus Impreza for Black Flag Racing. Just in time as well. How's about that then? Yeah, so looking forward to this. It's been a really awesome competition so far. We've got, I'm not quite sure why GDSR Baldwin's in the room. He doesn't belong here, so later. I think Kevin's just talking to me now. We will be jumping into qualifying very soon. So the premise here is very simple. You've got two teams of drivers. These are your teams. You've got Team Mitsubishi, you've got Team Subaru. Now, anyone that's not in the teams can still race. They will score manufacturer's points for the cars, but they will not score team points. Only the team members will score team points. It's kind of a threefold competition. Yes, we've got the individual races, but we've also got the team competition, and we've got the manufacturers competition. So let's have a look at what we've got in the room. So we've got Demos. He's in the Lancer, and of course Team Mitsubishi. Wiggy is he's one of the reserve drivers. He's in the last today. Canados is a Lancer driver, team driver, so his points will go towards the team. Snurpan is WRX driver and is in the WRX, of course. Avalon is also team WRX. GMAC team WRX, so a lot of team members out there today. Kevin, of course, team Mitsubishi. He's been the big winner so far, of course. Thanos, also team Mitsubishi. Don't know what's happened there. Apparently I'm not connected, but I am connected because I'm still live. Very, very weird. Don't know what's going on. Just been absolutely booted off. Going to reconnect and come back. How about that? It's weird, isn't it? Because apparently I'm not connected, but yeah, I'm still live. Back shortly when I sort out this problem. Well, that was a spectacular cock-up, wasn't it? Just going back into the room. Don't know how that happened. Not happened before. Error occurred. It's not going to let me join, is it? Doesn't look like it's happening, unfortunately. So off we go then. I'm going to try a reset and come back and see what happens. So it appears it wasn't the only issue. Just now, basically, we're back in the room and it's everyone is returning. Yeah, we are back in the room. It went a little bit wrong. So we'll wait and see what happens. I think everyone's trying to find their way back in. So it doesn't matter I was late then, does it really? So this is the first, my first race back for BFeR Black Flag since my 4-day sabbatical, and didn't do GR3 yesterday. Of course, we'll pick up the results and get those sorted over the weekend when I catch back up with everyone else. I just wait for everyone to get into the room, of course. Don't know why I've got a 911 RSR, but I'm keeping it. So there we go. Why is that not working now? We are having some severe technical issues today with this particular room. It's not giving me any room audio. Although to be fair, there's not much going on, is there? Right, let me see if I can sort that out while we're waiting for everyone to get back in the room. Okay, that will explain it. That's why we all got kicked out, because Patrick restarted his PlayStation. Okay, answers the question then. Right, I'm going to try and solve this audio issue while we're doing this. Not quite the solution I wanted, but it's the one that we've got. Yeah, so we're just going to part with this, unfortunately, because I don't know. What I will say is that there's been no end of issues going on with G7 all the freaking time. Whenever I do an F1 show, I never have a problem. Never, occasionally one little issue every now and again, but nothing. I don't really have any technical issues. Everything runs smoothly. When I'm doing things on GT7, it's always going fucking wrong. It's pissing me off, to be honest. I don't know what the answer is. It can't be my equipment, because my equipment works perfectly well on F1. It doesn't work here, and it's got to be GT7, surely. Right, so there we go. This is the audio we're going to get today, because GT7 is fucking woefully shit. No, the game's very good. Just its online offering is about useful as chocolate fucking teapot. Right, so we've got G-Mac is out there in his Lancer, finding out how many walls he can hit on the way round Mount Panorama. There is Thanos. He is also in the Lancer, of course. Will and G-Steer is in the WRX. He's coming off the reserve list to have a little race. There is actually, looking at the teams, so I'm going to look at who hasn't come back. So Ishmael Truth has been signed up, but hasn't actually raced at all in this competition. So there is a spot on Mitsubishi for a permanent driver. So I will sort that out this week. See if one of the reserves wants to step up into a full-time seat and become a permanent driver for Mitsubishi. We'll see how it goes with that. Obviously, all the results from last week will be updated later. Would have been done already, but for my unexpected sabbatical, shall we say. Right, qualifying is about to begin. It'll be two 20-minute races here around Mount Panorama. And this is a great racetrack. 10 drivers will see them, of course. The great thing about Mount Panorama is the just how twisty and complex it can be. And we'll do a little on board with Kevin's going around. He's in the he's gone through his sort of standard. That's a very standard livery as far as Kevin's concerned now, isn't it? Always quite similar. So let's do it on board with Kevin. So you come into, this is turn 2, and you're kind of feathering that inside of the wheel. You let it drift out, but not too far. You don't want to be clipping that wall. You head up here, you have a little lift as it just goes round to the left hand side there. You get on the brakes into second gear, turning it through, and this is where you go in right into the mountain section. Very tricky section. Nowhere really here to overtake. And this is all, so if you're stuck behind someone slowly, you just got to follow them through. Just clips the wall as he goes through, and you can flat out that bit, but you need to lift here. So little lift just to get you round, get the car rotated, then on the power. Audi R8 sign you're looking for on the brakes. Just getting that brake pedal, just getting the car slowed down and through the gears as you twist around that section. Then you can get back on the power as you head down before the conrod straight. On the brakes there, second gear, you want to turn as early as possible, get on the power as early as possible to give yourself the best possible exit onto conrod. Now, conrod is a very, very long straight here. You are full power flat out. Now, ideally, you'll want to be in someone's slipstream coming down here if you're not in first place, because that's going to give you that extra few mile an hour, that extra kind of pull just to get you further up the racetrack. Cars don't quite max out down here, but yeah, it's a really, really cool part of the racetrack. You get there to the hotel section, early braking, 150 metre board to get it turned in to the right, to the left, to the right. Then you've got your final turn here, which takes you down to the start-finish line and back to turn 1, which is L corner. Now, the reason why is it called L corner, Herb? I'll tell you why. Because on this corner used to be a tree. Well, it used to be a tree, and then eventually it was a tree stump. But people kept dying, hitting it, cutting the corner. So because a lot of people died, they called it Hell Corner. The tree stump is obviously no longer there. This is, of course, a street circuit. So these are actual roads. Now, there is quite a lot of detail in terms of some of the houses. There's a lot more houses actually than the game graphics depict. But you can see, if you look at the side of the road, you can see where all the little kind of property roads and internal roads head off up towards properties and such like. Particularly here, so you've got the sort of park area there. You've got a house coming up here, and you'll see the road going off to the right hand side towards it. There's one there to the left, of course. There's that one up there towards the house on the right hand side, and there's another house here you can see there, which the entrance is just there, and it is a proper road course. Very, very strict in terms of speeds around here, when it's not a racetrack, and there is a sort of network of underground tunnels, etc., for the locals to get in and out when they're running things like 24-hour race events and stuff. But why would you want to go anywhere else when there's a 24-hour race going on outside your house? Other than to open another beer, chuck another steak on the barbecue, and watch some more racing. Maybe have a snooze at 2 o'clock in the morning when you can't see anything. Here we go. So this is the really tricky part. Get turned to the right, 150 metre board on those brakes. Oh, you brakes really late there. Just carry so much more speed than everyone else through that section. So there we go. There's a lap around the iconic, very iconic racetrack here. So it is 10 minutes of qualifying. There's his lap. That's a 2 minutes dead. 2 minutes .2. That's a very, very solid time for Kevin 77. Puts him on pole position. Let's get back to the proper car view. There we go. Canados in the Star Group gives himself second place. He's also in that Mitsubishi. Although Fubar puts himself second. Fubar looking really strong in this particular car. Really, really strong, this Fubar. And Fubar, of course, to bring the teams up for everyone to see. There is everyone. Fubar is, of course, Team Mitsubishi, along with Kevin. So at the minute, Sturpan puts the first WX in that top 3. So I was about to say the top 3 are all Mitsubishi, but Sturpan had something to say about that and puts that Subaru on the front row alongside Kevin. Canados in 5th place in the another Mitsubishi. Thanos, another Mitsubishi. So top 6 has 1 Subaru in it. G-Mac, there he is. He's in the WRX. Best he's done so far is 7th fastest. Willard G-Star, he's also in that WRX. He is running 1.3 seconds slower than G-Mac in 8th place. Avalon behind him, also in the WRX in 9th. And Demos, also in the WRX. He's in the Lancer. He's also in the Lancer, so bringing up the rear. So at the moment, the Lancer looking the stronger of the 2 cars around here. And unusual, actually, because I would have expected the WRX to slightly have the edge here. But, you know, we've got 2 iconic cars, and they are almost identical in terms of... And who was that sideways? That was Avalon, and you can't park that there, Patrick, right? Get a car turned around, lovely jubbly. He's obviously clipped the wall coming out. Comrade, use reverse, man. Use reverse. Did not use reverse, but off he goes. So, Kevin does not improve his time. Sturpan coming round. Can he make an improvement on his current lap time? don't think anyone else has improved. Wiggy doesn't improve. Sturpan comes round. This is a chance to put himself on pole, or at least close out 1.5 second back gap to Kevin. Doesn't improve his time. Fubar, a couple of tenths slower than his previous time as well. It's 5 minute qualifying, isn't it? That's why it's all over and done and dusted, of course. So, Kevin is your pole sitter. He's got Sturpan on the front row alongside him. Fubar and Demos are on row 2. Demos chucking a 2:02.2 in as his fastest lap there. That pushes Wiggy down to 5th place with Canados in 6th. Then Thanos and GMAC are on row 4. Willard and Avalon in row 5. So we've got Lancer WRX, and then we've got the whole slew of Lancers in the middle of the pack with 3 WRXs at the back. 1 minute until we start. Can't bring up the current results because I haven't done them yet. They would have been done, but obviously, things happen. But where are we? We're at Mount Panorama. Really, really interesting track this. Turn 1, Hell Corner. Up the mountain straight into turn 2, the quarry. Then you go round into turn 3, the cutting, which kind of leads into turn 4. Then turn 5 and 6 at Griffin's Mount. And then Reed Park, Frog Hollow, Sulman Park, 7, 8, 9. Before you move into the John Hicksman Vista and McPhillamy Park, which is number 10. And then you've got that kind of S section in the middle, which is Skyline and the S's, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, which is kind of switched back left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, into turn 17, which takes you into turn 18, the Dipper, then round into Forest Elbow and onto the Conrod Straight. Turn 20 takes you into the Chase, which is where the hotel is, turn 21 and 22, and then finally Murray's Corner, turn 23, before you start the lap all over again. There we go. Simple pimple. So race has begun. Or has it? There we go. They are away. And what a time to jump in. And they call me perfect timing, but we are. So Kevin in the lead. Fubar trying to make early move on Sturpan. They're all through turn 1 pretty cleanly. No issues with having to call a red flag there. There will be a change to our red flag rules actually that a red flag can only be called by the broadcaster, unless of course there's no broadcaster. So Kevin is in the lead, does manage to get away cleanly. Sturpan and Fubar duking it out for 2nd place right now, but it is Sturpan that wins out and stays ahead, going into the mountain section for the first time there, and it's 20 minutes of racing here at Mount Panorama, followed by a second race, of course, which is reverse grid type scenario. So Fubar in 3rd. There is Demos running in 4th place. He's got Wiggy just behind him. I do need to change this because I prefer nicknames. There we go. There's Wiggy running in 5th place with Thanos in 6th. GMAC in 7th. Now GMAC's usually quicker than this, so I'm quite surprised to see him down there in 7th place. Avalon's got himself up to 8th place. Willard up to 9th. Canados has dropped down to 10th place. It looks like he's had a little knock. Willard's also had a bit of a knock though on the front there. A little bit of damage waiting for that to repair itself. But lead out in front already 6/10 of a second. And Fubar and Sturpan are side by side. Now surely Fubar will want to be tucked in behind Sturpan there and just getting that slipstream. But they both obviously came out of combo at the very same time. And that's very good. It's really struggling to get it slowed down. I actually thought at one stage he was going to plough into the back of him. But it is Greek driver from English or British driver in the top 3. And Fubar's absolutely sticking with them. That slipstream down the Conrod is going to make it very difficult for other cars to pull away. The only chance really you're going to get to pull away is to do so through the twisty mountain section. And Fubar looking to put one up the inside into Hell Corner. Doesn't make that stick, but is tucked in behind again. Just needs to bide his time and wait for the opportunity. If he keeps putting the car in the right place, that door will open for him eventually. And the slipstream will always keep him in contention. but really getting involved there at the moment. Good battle going on. But Demos is still involved there as well, as is Wiggy. Look at that. So the top 5 now starting to pull away. And this is the battle for podium places at the moment, which is Kevin out in the lead from Sturpan, from Fubar, from Demos, from Wiggy. They're your top 5. They're 2.4 seconds clear of the rest of the pack. Just starting to open up a bit of a gap for themselves. We can see there is Thanos. He is 2.4 back. He's got G-Mac all over the back of him. There's a battle going on right there. And Avalon Shadow trying to get him on, clips the wall. That's going to cost him some time. Dropping right off, and Willard is there to pounce if the opportunity presents itself. Canados really struggling at the moment. He's on the medium compound side. They do have to run soft and medium compounds in this race. Both compounds need to be run. Canados has done the right thing. He's actually gone for the mediums first out, which actually quite a few have. Sturpan and Kevin both done that. Fubar has gone for the soft, so he really needs to make this move here. And he is closing on Sturpan, but is he close enough to make the move under slipstream? He does pull out here. He's got to get this done before they make this little turn. Side by side, that's a great little move there. Does he make it stick? Going to be a little bit deep. Oh, he does. Just holds on. Sturpan gets back at him though, and he loses control. So Sturpan dropping down the order, trying to stick with him. Sturpan down to 5th place, and Fubar up into third, as Demos nicks that 2nd place from him. Big steal there from Demos on that final corner into Murray's, and just nicks 2nd place, and that pushes Fubar back into 3rd. But this time he's got a different Greek driver in front of him. So the Greek driver he was chasing first is now back in 5th, and Demos has picked up the mantle into 2nd place. Wiggy promoted up to 4th because of that mistake from Sturpan. And Sturpan actually now 2.1 seconds back and dropping into the clutches of Thanos. Thanos is just half a second back in 7th place. G-Max still 1 second behind him, still got Avalon behind him. These guys have not been able to capitalise on this slipstream. So far only Fubar has made any inroads on the slipstream, and Demos any inroads on a standard kind of corner overtake. Willard G-Star, there he is. Graham still 3.2 seconds behind Avalon. 206 is his fastest lap. Canados, he's done a 204.4, but he was so far back after the first lap. He had a really bad first lap in 224. It's cost him quite a significant amount of time, and he's got 6 seconds almost to make up on Willard before he's back in contention. And remember, it's a difficult place to overtake without slipstream. But Kevin just opening up that gap now, 2.3 seconds. There is Demos just coming through. He is giving up slipstream to Fubar. Wiggy dropped off that pace a little bit. He's 1.3 back. Don't think Fubar is close enough really to capitalise on it this time. It certainly was a lot closer to Sturpan at the end of lap 2. So we come round this, the chase is called the hotel section here, and we go left on the final turn into Murray's. It is Kevin 77 leading by 1.6 seconds from Demos Eleftherio. I hope I said that right. I'm gonna make the attempt. Eleftherio. From Fubar Philantis, who is just 6 tenths back in 3rd place. Wiggy, James Wiggins, there he is, 1.4 seconds back from Fubar, with Sturpan 2.2 seconds back after that error on lap 2, that battle with Fubar. G-Mac has got ahead of Thanos, 2.4 seconds though behind Sturpan, so clearly Thanos has had a problem. He has fallen very much into the clutches of Avalon Shadow, who's going to chase him through this mountain section. He's going to be kind of stuck behind him, unless, of course, Thanos makes a big error. Because he's just nowhere to overtake here. The track is really thin. There's nowhere really to make the move. Unless, of course, the car moves out of your way. But at the moment, Avalon looking much racier through this section. He's just going to have to back off a little bit. You don't want to be too much in a dirty air coming past these walls. If you unsettle your car too much, it's going to cost you more time than it's going to gain you. So you're actually worth just kind of dropping off. It's about where Avalon is now, you know. half a second, 6/10 back, just to give yourself a little bit of breathing room. And obviously, when you close up like this, it does make it very difficult to control the car. So again, just dropping off a little bit. Now this is where you want to get closer. You want to come out of here into Conrad very, very close. And it looks like he's getting a good exit. Thanos looked like he just clipped the wall a little bit there. And there is Avalon. He's got a really good run on him. Fubar, not such a great run on Demos. Is a little bit behind. But we can see Avalon getting close to Thanos. Can he make the move? He's going to stay stuck in behind. Or is he going to make this move around the outside? He's chosen not to make the move at this stage. Bearing in mind they are both on the medium tyres, so they've still got a soft compound to run. Canados is back in 9th place now. Looks like Willagista had a bit of a problem on those soft compound tyres. And he's now 4 seconds adrift behind Canados. So clearly has clipped a wall. You say that, but then he did a 2:05.3 that last lap. So it must have been this lap that he's had the mistake. We'll have a look now as he crosses the line. Yeah, he definitely clipped the wall in that mountain section. That's a 2:14, so just himself 9 seconds on that lap. Canados starting to drop into sort of mid 2:04, low 2:05s. Seems to be his wheelhouse. Which is a bit quicker than Avalon, who's just making the move there on GMAX. So, Thanos in 8th place is tucked in behind Avalon. And it looked like, I thought he was making a move on GMAX. He's not. He made the move on Thanos. GMAX 3.8 seconds up the road. So, apologies for that. It's GMAX. You are actually still ahead of them. So, Avalon does tuck his car ahead of Thanos. And it's an opportunity now, if he is quicker, to start pulling away a bit of a gap. GMAC to Sturpan is 3.7 seconds. Bit of no man's land for GMAC. He's lapping, his fastest lap for him is a low 2:05. Low 2:04 for Sturpan. So Sturpan is actually doing very, very front pace laps. We got a 2:04 low. Fubar with a 2:03.4 in that. Isn't the Lancer, in the Lancer, of course he is. Stupid question, Herb. Of course he's in the Lancer. He's doing a 2:03.4. Demos with the fastest lap of the race, a 2:03.0. On medium tyres in the Lancer. So this clearly suited the Lancer. Kevin in, Demos in. What's Fubar going to do? Fubar is coming in as well. He's on the soft compound tyres. So mediums and the softs going in. It's really tricky going in there. Woody in, Sturpan in, GMAC in, Thanos in, Avalon in, Canados in, Willard in. Everybody pits on the same lap. And it's going to be 10 laps around here because they're basically just over 2 minutes a lap. It's a 20-minute race. Bumshenka, easy math for the win. Or maths if you're in the UK and not American. Right, so Kevin is in the lead. Of course, as it says in the back of his car there, of course he is. He's in the lead of this race. Demos, 4.5 seconds worth of penalty. That's a pit lane penalty, and that's a something else penalty. Don't know what the something else is, but that's going to cost him, well, more than 4.5 seconds, because you wait to see what it is. And Fubar coming through, so this is even more devastating, because although, Fubar's on the medium tyre, so he is going to be giving up a little bit of pace to Demos. But 4.5 seconds penalty, that's going to put him somewhere back, I reckon, behind Sturpan. Because, I was saying that Sturpan's also got a 3-second penalty. So actually, GMAC now could be putting himself somewhere near the top 3, or maybe top 4. Wiggy's certainly in a really good position. So we look at Wiggy here. He look at that penalty. He knows he didn't need to make the move. And you wait till you see where this penalty line is. Absolutely awful place. It's halfway down the Conrad straight. It is a devastatingly bad place to serve a penalty. And I will show you now just how bad it is. So 4.5 seconds is the penalty. They come round onto the Conrad, and we'll see where this penalty line is. You start getting the power up, start getting the pace up. Now, as they go through this penalty line, there, the gap was 0.2 of a second. So 4.5 seconds to serve. by the time he gets back up to speed, where is Stepan? Stepan's got his 3-second penalty, so that will see GMAC coming through. GMAC not close enough actually, so doesn't. So did GMAC have a problem? Must have done because Avalon's through. So actually Demos was quite lucky. So he ended up, he was 2 tenths behind Fubar. He's now for almost 5 seconds behind Wiggy. So who is 1.6. So we say 1.5. So 6.5 seconds. So basically 4.5 seconds costs you nearly 7 seconds when you serve it on the Conrod. That's a massive, massive loss because he's now 5 seconds behind Wiggy. He's got to try and make that time up and find a way to pass. So Fubar running in that top 3 and he's starting. Now he's starting to pick up the podiums. They're coming like wildfire for him now. He's a top draw runner now. It's Fubar. No more mid-table for him. Trophies are on their way, my friend. Sturpan did have a 3-second penalty. It didn't allow him to close up on his teammate Demos. It didn't allow him really to put away from GMAC, of course. But GMAC had a massive problem because he was behind Sturpan. He's now behind Avalon. He's also behind Canados. Avalon is up to 6th place, 4.7 seconds ahead of Canados. Canados is trying to stave off the fight of GMAC right now. GMAC very bad at 221 or 227 for laps 5 and 6. Really needs to ramp this up now on those soft compound tyres. Thanos, big loser there. He's back into 9th place. We saw it going horribly wrong when he came out of the pits, and it was going wrong at that stage. It's just got worse for him, and he's now back in 9th place. Willagista, he's gone for the soft compound tyres again. He needs to run the medium compounds. 2.3 seconds behind Thanos he is. Is he able to close up that gap and make a move potentially? Or did he start at the mediums? He must have started at the mediums, and I'm just confused. There's your leader. That's 7.7 seconds clear. I don't know what we can do to kind of make this harder. We had that in the little handicap thing on Sunday. From what I heard, it didn't go very well. There wasn't a big uptake for it. So obviously, something's not popular. There's no point us continuing an unpopular racing series. So we've got an idea for something. But at the moment, 8 seconds clear is Kevin from Fubar, who's got himself into the top 2. Now, Wiggy is starting to ramp up the pace behind him and close that gap. Remember, Fubar's on the medium tyres. Wiggy's running the soft compound. So, fuel's not an issue, of course. Never would be around here. Certainly not over 10 laps anyway. So it really is just about tyre management. And with his fastest up the race there, Wiggy, that's a 2:02.4. Now, to put that into context, Kevin's is a 2-minute point, so he's actually almost 2 seconds a lap slower than Kevin is around here. They're in the same car with the same specification. There's the gap. He is desperately trying to close on Fubar. Now, the gap back to DWAT is still over 5 seconds, 9 seconds, because Sturpan, DWAT has had a problem. Because Sturpan's now ahead of him, the gap is 10.1 seconds. Just because this racetrack can be absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal. That mountain section can really, really fuck your race up without any real attempt at trying either. You only need to clip a wall at the wrong time, just go a little bit wide into some gravel, and your entire race is over before it's even started. There is Demos, he's in 5th place now behind Sturpan. Is Avalon able to close up that 4.7 seconds? Or is it going to be an Avalon, Canados, GMAC fight to the finish, stripped to the waist in the car park, covered in oil? Not really. I can't imagine that would be any fun to watch. But they're still duking it out here. We're on lap 8. 2 laps remaining here at Mount Panorama, Bathurst. Brilliant iconic racetrack, home of a 24-hour race, and I defy you not to love this racetrack. So Kevin, well in the lead, goes sub 2 minutes. That's quicker than his qualifying lap. Just starting to dial it in now. It is utterly ridiculous. There is Fubar running in second place. He's 11 seconds behind Kevin. But Wiggy now really ramping it up. Wiggy knows he's only got 2 more attempts down the conrod to close up and make the move. And can he get this done? Bear in mind, they are all in the same car. They're all in the Lancer. So the Lancer proving to be the much stronger car here at Bathurst than you would have thought. So, I expected WRX to have a little bit more. And Fubar makes a mistake, and that just allows Wiggy to breeze through into Conrad. Now, the only problem there is he'd make the overtake a little bit sooner than I think he would have liked, because Fubar's going to have to come back in with the slipstream. You can see there, tucked in under the wing on the back of that Lancer. Fubar just tucked in there. Now, Wiggy needs to open up a bit of a gap at this stage if he can. He is just 4/10 up, and needs to see if through the mountain section he can just open it up a little bit. But another podium for Fubar. Fubar goes a bit deep there, and that just gives Wiggy a bit of breathing room. Sturpan too far back to get involved in this top 3 battle. Demos too far back to get involved. Avalon too far back to get involved in that. And he's now dropped G-Man and Canados. Was involved in that fight. He's now back behind Willard, and Willard is up in 9th place. He's gained a place and is holding on well so far in 9th place in that Vodafone Spect. Sorry, that's Canada's in the Vodafone Spect car. Oh, loses the back end there a little bit. That's going to give Willard a little bit of breathing room coming down into Hell Corner for the last time. And loving that camel livery on that WRX that Willard is spoiling right there. Right, 3.5 seconds up the road is Thanos. He is 4.7 behind G-Man, who's been dropped now by Avalon, who is 3.5 up the road in 6th place. Demos running, one stage Demos was keeping up with Kevin, but now 5.8 seconds back behind Sturpan. Clearly, a lot of these cars were better on the medium compound tyre. There is Sturpan. He is 6 seconds behind Fubar. Fubar wasn't able to maintain that pace with Wiggy, and Wiggy's disappeared off up the road. He's now 3.1 seconds ahead of Fubar on this final lap. And there we are with Kevin as he comes into the chase for the last time in race number 1. He is heading towards Murray's Corner. He'll turn left. He'll go across the line. He'll wave at his adoring fans. And then he'll go and have a Kit Kat. The last bit might not be true. But the rest is absolutely true. And there is your winner of race number 1, Kevin 77. The man who just cannot be beaten unless he makes a mistake at the moment. Here comes Wiggy. Good second place for him in the Repsol liveried. I was going to say WRX, but it's not. It's the Evo. Here comes Fubar. Another 3rd place for him as he runs out of fuel right at the last, but does just enough to cross the line. Home he comes. There is Sturpan. He crossed the line in 4th. Demos will come home in 5th. Avalon Shadow home in 6th. Eventually rounds out last corner. There he goes in the WRX. I think actually that's the lead WRX. Or is it Sturpan? G-Mac will come home in 7th place with Thanos in 8th. Willard holding off Canados for 9th place. And no, Canados nicks it on the line by the looks of it. What happened there? Was that a penalty type scenario then? Did he have a penalty he hadn't served? He must have done because, because race time suggests that Canados finished in 9th and Willard in 10th. But if he had a penalty, he was sporting a penalty, that would have dropped him back behind Canados. But there's your winner of race number 1, Kevin 77, as the clock ticketh down. Everyone's finished, so there should be no reason why it should continue ticketing. But we've got one more race to go. Reverse grid, of course. So William will lead us out from Canados and Thanos from GMAC. GMAC's in good position there actually to nick himself some points there. Avalon Shadow, Demos, then Sturpan, Fubar, Wiggy, and Kevin. So fast that they had to name him 3 times. There we go. Why is the clock taking so long to tick down? You ask. Because it's GT7 and graphics are amazing, the sound is amazing, some of the car handling is great. Unfortunately, they couldn't program a lobby if a lobby punched them in the cock. There we go. Awesomeness. Race number 1 done and dusted. One more race to go. Yeah, one more race to go. That's going to be a reverse grid one as well. I'll be right back, folks. I really need to wait. I have returned. Yeah, just waiting for the reverse grid to be set up. Apologise for the sound of eating. I'm eating a piece of cheese. I've got this new really spicy Mexican cheese. I wanted to try it. It's really spicy. I can hand it though because I'm a man. You will see something new popping up on Black Flag later, or even it'll probably be tomorrow time I upload it. It is Dickhead Daily Drivers. So, anyone that drives in the dailies will know that it only takes a race or two before you come across some absolute tool who, rather than just drive, completely ignores the whole sportsmanship of racing and just wants to wipe you out. What I've decided to do is start to race in some of these daily races. One, because I can't race with these guys that I commentate for because they're all quicker than me. But in the dailies, I can kind of compete in midfield. But also because it gives me absolutely fantastic footage. And I'll tell you what, I've got some great stuff for you. Just from Daily Race C this week. I did 6 races today, and out of those 6 races, I found 6 bell ends. 6 bell ends. One was like a double bell end in the same race. One, you can watch it for yourself, but it really boiled my piss because you'll see the one I mean. It'll be quite obvious which one boiled my piss the most. Because we had a great, for 2 laps, me and this guy were trading places, back and forth, trading positions. And on the final lap, got the jump on him. I made the little switcheroony, got the position, went into, got the position around Indianapolis, and then did the right-hander, and then the little prick melted me into the wall. And you can see that he deliberately melted me into the wall because he did it twice just to make sure, and then fucked off up the road. And ironically didn't get a penalty either, which really, really pissed me off. I did eventually catch him, but I couldn't pass him. Because obviously it's too close to the end of the lap, but there we go. But do check it out, and I'm going to put up one, at least one a week. I did do a race at Laguna Seca actually. I've got melted again, so there might be another one this week for Laguna Seca. We'll see. Yeah, I think what I'll probably do is actually I've done it a bit early this week, but I think I'll do it across the course of the week, and then put the video up live on the Sunday. Or something along those lines, we'll see. We'll see how popular it is first. No, people might decide not to watch it, and I won't bother. Right, so just we've got the 1 minute warning, and that was about 25 minutes ago. I'm just waiting for this race to start. This is Black Flag Rivals round 3. It is the Lancer Evolution GR3 versus the WRX GR3. Two iconic GT racing cars of the recent past, both in rally and in standard GT racing, of course. They are pitted against each other in this competition, and it is an individual competition. It is a team competition, and it's also a manufacturer's competition. So those who are in the team will score points for the manufacturers and the team. Those who are not in the team will just score points for themselves and the manufacturers. And we'll see at the end which is the best car and which is the best team of drivers for that car. Right, so we're just waiting. I think Sturpan's disappeared, so I think that's what we're waiting for. The return of Sturpan. Not to be confused with Return of the Jedi. It is not a Greek war film. We are waiting for, I think, Sturpan to return, and then we can get cracking with the reverse grid racing. This is Willard's second race with us. Welcome again to Black Flag, my friend. Look at him with his DR rating of B already. He hasn't been playing the game very long. And everyone else rocking an A B for Fubar, and of course a C for shit for me. And I don't know why my SR's dropped down to A, because I've been really, really clean, and it's pissing me off a little bit. Why is my chat not coming through? I can find it anyway. Yeah, I'm not happy with them GT7 at the minute. It's just a little bit fucking turd burgly. It's just everything just seems to be a little bit shit. In terms of connection, in terms of everything really. That's not working. I did see a message flash up, but for some reason it's not appearing to me. Still waiting for this bloody race to start. NOI. That's not it. Why is that? Why is it saying that was live? No, that's not live. Why has it got it as GR4 lottery? It's not GR4 lottery. I'm going to have to change this. That's the problem. That's why I couldn't find it. Ah, there we go. I can now see all the chat. That's why. That's what the problem was, because for some reason it's coming up as GR4 lottery. It's not the GR4 lottery. How you doing? No hassle. Jack Willard. How you doing, Jack? It's good to see you, mate. I haven't seen you for a long time. Ominous, hello. I wonder what was going on. I don't know why it's come up as GR4 lottery. It's not GR4 lottery. It's all gone horribly, horribly wrong, isn't it? Horribly, horribly wrong. Yeah. Jack, tell him to start on the mediums, man. He needs to start on the medium compound tyres. Much, much better for him. You say that a lot of people's SR are suffering in the daily race C, no hassle, but actually mine's been all right, because if you don't drive like a cock, you're generally okay. Some people have, seriously, when I put a video up, watch it, there's some absolute melts on there. Also, I include myself in that because I managed to, from second place, catching the guy in first. I was taking about, I was only about 2.5 seconds behind the guy in first. And I was taking chunks out of him. And I just fucked out with the rain. When that rain came in, I binned it into the wall. I ended up finishing like 11th or something crazy. So I've actually put a clip of myself in there as well. So it's not all about me, or all about the others. But yeah, there are some absolute fucking knobs. But there you go. Anyone else that's watching that has a video from a daily race where they've met an absolute big fat knob that they think is worthy of naming and shaming, then get in touch, send me the footage. I will absolutely stick it in the dickhead of Daily's drivers video each week. I think it'd be good fun. We'll keep doing it until Polyphony shut me down for hate speech and bullying or whatever. Yeah. To be fair, I have actually moved from D to C today, which is in itself an absolute massive feat. Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. In six races, I've got enough footage for one video of dickheads. Yeah, and that was only stuff that happened to me. I didn't even include stuff that happened to other people, which I'm considering doing as well. Yeah, absolutely. That's important, isn't it? Right, so here we go. Reverse grid for race number 2. Ignore what it says on the title. This is not the GR4 Lottery Season 2 Round 7. This is the Rival Series that for some reason has decided to advertise itself on the YouTube channel as something completely different. I can't believe I fucking do this every time. Sort it out, Sony. It's so frustrating because I do the F1 streams and I don't have any of this bullshit. Right, so Willard leads them out. Can he hold them off? How long can he hold them off for? He should have started on the medium compound tyres. He's going to get absolutely swallowed up like a swimmer in a shark tank. Canados is in second, Thanos third, G-Mac in fourth. I'll tell you who's in a really good position right now. If he can keep up the pace, and if I press the right buttons, keyboard controls, BD, come on. G-Mac, there he is. G-Mac in fourth place. But now we go into the mountain section. Unless someone bins it, no one's passing anyone. I don't really want it to be fair, actually, no hassle. The Wiggy's in last place, strangely. Let's know how that happened. Yeah, I don't want to get to a B because I'm not a B-rated driver. It's part of my over the course of the next few months. I'm doing a documentary. I'm keeping footage to demonstrate how you can manipulate your driver rating to show that you're to make it appear that you're a better driver than you are, or make it appear that you're a worse driver than you are. And it's very easy to manipulate because I am a C/B driver all day long, and I have been a B driver, but I'm not actually a B driver, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't like the way that it's easy enough for a B driver to get themselves to sort of A+, for instance, and they need to look at the rating system for that reason. So there we go. Willard finally, I was going to say finally loses that place, but he doesn't. Canados spins G-Mac up into second and doesn't hold it off. He's fighting with Thanos, and while they fight, that just gives Willard a little bit of respite. Big spin there from Canados, and he is last, very last, right at the back. So Willard, end of lap 2, still in the lead of this race. He did this last time out. He struggled in race number 1. He started from the front of the grid in the last race as well. Not the last race today, the last meeting, which was at Watkins Glen. And yeah, held out for ages before the fast cars came steaming through. Now there is G-Mac. He's got Thanos just behind him. Thanos is going to need to make the move before the mountain section, or that's where he is stuck. Demos, we saw him have an absolute nightmare with a 4.5 second penalty in race number 1 today. and hopefully he can stave off that mistake this time. Yeah, no, it's exactly like that, no hassle. Look, I know there needs to be some sort of system in order to organise people, but I think it's too arbitrary a system. If you look at the gap between someone who comes out of the D ranking into C and somebody who drops from B into C, you're pitting those two together in a lobby and essentially saying that you are equal and judging you equally. That's the problem. Is that you're judging a B driver who's had a bad run against a D driver who's having a good run, and it's not comparing Fisher's ability to ride a fucking bicycle. But I suppose you need some sort of arbitrary system. But maybe it can look at the quality of all of the people you're racing in terms of lap times, for instance. That would make a big difference, because if someone's consistently quick on a number of different lobbies and that kind of thing, it would make a difference. But we'll see. So Willard still holding him off. He's 1.7 seconds clear of G-Mac. Who would have thought we would have seen that when he was coming in last place in race number 1. G-Mac now 1.8 seconds back from Willard with Demos just dropping off the pace a little bit to 1.2 seconds. There is Thanos. He's got 7/10, but he's got Sturpan breathing down his neck. All the while, Kevin crawling over the back of Sturpan like a very bad rash. Sturpan does not want to see his team leader and compatriot that close to the back of his car. And Kevin is 1.2 seconds clear of Avalon, running in 7th place. There seems to be a common theme for Avalon today in that kind of 7th, 8th position. Fumar, great top 3 from him. Race number 1. Not got out of the back 3 this time. Is up behind Avalon. Clearly quicker in that Lancer. The Lancer today seems to be the more dominant car. Certainly around here. I'm sure we'll see that change next week when we move on. To be fair, he still is walking races. We pretty much, every race series we got with Kevin in, he is either the reigning champion or the current leader. Sturpan is a good driver. Yeah, Sturpan is a good driver. But the difference between Sturpan and Kevin is Sturpan's got the odd mistake in them, which always allows someone a chance to get in, of course. Wiggy running in 9th place, and there is Canalos at the back of the pack, where you would normally find me residing. But I'm not racing, which is why someone else is there today. So there he is. There's Willard still out in the lead. My mate Graham. He is holding them off, but we know G-Mac's quick. He loves a pit stop, does G-Mac. He does love a pit stop. Endurance racing is not his thing. Sprint racing is more G-Mac's speed. But this is just about right for him. Because it's only a one stop for everybody, he can pretty much handle this chisel. So the gap out front just closed a little bit to 0.8 of a second. Fastest lap is still with Winner with a 2:03.1. Who would have thought? There we go. Starting to drop now. G-Mac with a quicker lap. Demos with a quicker lap. So it's just starting to ramp up now. Now we know on the soft compound tyres, we know that Kevin is capable of doing a sub 2 minutes lap. In fact, he did one in race number 1, which was even quicker than he did in qualifying. Who would have thought that? And here he goes. He's going to pull out on the back of Thanos. I'm such a child. Such a fucking child. He's going to pull out on the back of Thanos. He's going to pull out from behind Thanos and make the overtake. Look at that! Now that's not something you usually see an overtake here. But he's made that move stick. That was very cool. Calm and collected. Thanos left the door open and Kevin jumped through it. Or did he open the door for him? I'm going to reserve judgment and say, why would he do that? But I don't know, he just looked like he went a little bit wider than he needed to. And that looked very... you wouldn't normally expect to be able to make a move there. And it looked almost rehearsed. But of course they wouldn't do that. Why would they? While we're talking to No Hassle from ART, of course, we should mention that they've got in honour of Lancaster and No Hassel and some others. They have ART are doing a really brilliant race for cancer to raise money for cancer research. It is, I forgot the bloody date now. Hang on. I will look it up right now because I want to get this right. I'm pretty sure it's the 5th of February, I think. I just want to make sure. No, it's Thursday, 9th of February, Racing Against Cancer. It's a number of different lobbies, a number of different rooms, different formats, cars, that kind of thing. It's going to be a really, really, really awesome event. Absolutely looking forward to that. It's going to be brilliant, really, really good. I will be involved. Some of the Black Flag guys will be racing it, of course. I'm going to be involved, myself and the man himself, your boy Super Squid, will be flitting between lobbies and giving our opinion on the drivers. You can earn the right to ram other drivers off the track, or ask someone to start further back, or give yourself a head start kind of thingy bob, just by making donations. Get involved. It's going to be it's a brilliant cause. Even if you're not racing, it's a fabulous cause for cancer research. Get yourself involved in that. If you don't, I will character assassinate you on online. No, absolutely. It's a good event. No hassle. So why would we not plug it? It's going to be awesome. Right. Anyway, where are we? There we are. G-Mac's now in the lead of this race. 6/10 up from Demos. Demos is running well again, but he had a really good first stint last time. It went wrong later on in the race, especially after picking up that 4.5 seconds worth of penalties after his pit stop. He makes that move. That's a really, really smart overtake there. And what a place to make it. The only problem is if G-Mac gets a good run on him, he's going to get the slipstream here and might be able to take that place back down Conrad. Although Demos opened up a massive gap there. What about that? G-Mac in second. Kevin is up into third. But he is side by side with Willard. Willard is not giving this up. He says, I don't care how fucking fast you are. I don't care if you're the Greek god of speed. You are going to have to do it the hard way. And the hard way, he does it. He's up into third. Willard holds on for fourth, though. Good racing there. Yes, it's going to be good. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking for loads of extra drivers. And as we did last time, everybody into the pits at the end of lap 5, like a big procession of pitters. Fubar staying on track, is he? Fubar's staying out. He has got a plan, and his plan is track position. Really bad lap that last lap, 2:15.0. A 2:17.5 there as well. That's not going so well. Podium place for Fubar, not looking quite so comfortable this time out. He's in the lead though. Here comes Kevin, he's coming out of the pits. He's got Demos right behind him. He's got Wiggy coming out. There's Sturpan, there's G-Mac, there's Willard, there's Avalon, Thanos, and eventually there comes Cavados. Any penalties? Not this time. It looks like everybody is out clean. That's what I like to see. Or do I? Do I prefer the penalties? I think I quite like it when people fuck up. It makes me feel better about myself. That's a phenomenal lap from Fubar. So I don't know what he was telling me before with that 221 thingy. A 2:03.8 for him. It's only 8/10 slower than the fastest lap. He stayed out for one more lap. His gap is 11.4 seconds. Now, it's not going to put him in the top 3, but it might gain him a few places here because he was at the back. Hadn't gone too well for him on lap 4. This little overcut, I think, might nick him a place or two. Extra lap on the soft tyres is not going to hurt either. Can he do another lap after this? I wouldn't risk it personally. Purely, and that's purely from history telling me I shouldn't do it. Anyone that didn't experience my absolute cock up round here with fuel will love this story. So basically, I was having probably one of the best races I've had in a very long time. I was running comfortably in the midfield. I was beating people that ordinarily I lose to, and I forgot to pit. I come down here. I knew I had to pit that lap, and I went straight past it. So I had to fuel map 6 it to try and make it back. I ran out of fuel at the beginning of the Conrod and had to 50 mile an hour and watched myself drop from like 4th to 5th to 6th, 7th to 8th, 9th to plumb last. Anyway, went into the pits, put the fuel on, came back out, thought I'd go racing. Couldn't get anywhere near my time. Realised I'd left it on fuel map 6 for the last 45 minutes of the fucking race. And ended up finishing second to last. So that's why I wouldn't risk it. Because I'm an idiot. Right, so, but that's enough about me. There's your leader, 2 seconds clear. There's Demos in second place. He's already 4.3 clear of Sturpan. They are half a second up from Wiggy. He's still on track for 2 podiums, is Wiggy. Don't count him out at this stage. There is G-Mac running in 5th place, 2.5 seconds back. He was, for me, a shoo-in for a podium, but the pit stops just didn't work out so well for him. And he's got to run to the end on the medium tyres. There's Willard running in 6th place. He's not last. He started at the front. He's still holding on. He's got Thanos behind him. He's going to be putting some pressure on. Bear in mind, he's going to be on the medium tyres now, whereas Thanos is on the soft compounds. As is Calados in 8th place, as will be Avalon in 9th. And Fubar comes back out on the mediums, but he's in last place. Not quite how he wanted that strategy to play out. But, you know, it is what it is. He's got 4 laps to try and at least salvage something from this race. I know we are a little bit behind with updating the league table for this. I've missed 4 days of this week to finish. And that is Canados facing the wrong way. You can't park that there, my friend. Please move it before you get a ticket. Thank you very much. That's a sight for sore eyes for Fubar. Seeing Canados facing the wrong direction. Now he's got Avalon Shadow is next. And that's his next target. 6.1 seconds, though. It's a big ask. As Avalon is on the back of Thanos, who's on the back of Willard, trying to find a way through. Willard taking the scenic route and cutting that corner. That'll give Thanos a bit of a run down the inside, up into Hell Corner. And Avalon makes the move as well, under braking. That's a 2-man switcheroony into that turn now. And Willard drops down to 8th place. Now the gap to Fubar is 5.4 seconds. Willard's fastest lap is a 2:03.1. Fubar's fastest lap is a 2:03.8. So actually, Willard's been quicker than him this time out. Can he maintain that kind of pace? He stay actually, as you see, I think it was Avalon there just clipping the wall, and Thanos and Avalon fisticuffs all round, and that's just giving Willard the chance to stay with them. And if they keep battling as they are, he's going to nip in there and say, "Fuck you very much," and he's off. But at the moment, he's tucked in behind them. There is Kevin. He is running 5.5 seconds clear. That's a beautiful shot, that one before you see the fields over the distance. Look at, I mean, that is just. I defy you to, any other racetrack on this game that looks more beautiful than Bathurst. There are tracks that I prefer. There are tracks that I think are much better tracks to drive in. But there's nothing more beautiful than that, surely. And it could just be it's just got a great camera angle, but what a... The thing is, as much as I get pissed off with the quality of the lobbies are awful, and some of the programming behind the online play is pretty woeful. But the graphics are spot on, aren't they? I mean, there isn't a racing game where graphics is good anywhere in the world right now. It's absolutely phenomenal. Right, anyway, that's enough fanboy sucky for Grand Transman. There's Demos 6.2 seconds back. He's not catching Kevin, but he is holding out and staying ahead of Sturpan in the Pink Panther. 1.2 seconds ahead of Wiggy. It was pretty much a lap earlier than this that Wiggy put on the charge for second in race number 1. He's not really done that this time. Sturpan with a 2:01.6 as fastest lap. Kevin, of course, has gone sub 2 minutes. because he's a fucking alien. If you cut him open, he bleeds Castrol GTX. He does not. He has wheels instead of feet, and he thinks in horsepower. Yeah. So Wiggy's not going to make top 3. I thought, you don't know. I mean, Sturban can make a mistake. He made a mistake in race number 1. It could happen again. GMAC in 5th place, comfortably 3 seconds ahead of Thanos, but uncomfortably 8 seconds behind Wiggy. Thanos in 6th place, of course, ahead of Avalon. That battle is just tempered down a little bit. Gaps opened up a bit. And Willard is no longer involved in that, and in fact is fallen into the clutches of Fubar Phalantis, who's made a resurgence, in the last sort of month and a half to basically since just before Christmas. We've seen Fubar kind of make this switch from midfield into kind of challenging inside that top 3, and he did finally get his top 3 this week, or was it last week? We finally got his top 3 anyway in a race that I completely missed. In the GR4 lottery, and then and since then he's been, he got another one just in this race earlier, and he's looking pretty racy today, but didn't really work out the second race. But yes, it's good to see drivers improving. Just wish that I would. So Willard drops back to 9th place, but he is 6.5 seconds back from Canados. So lap 10 for Kevin. This is the final lap of the race into this really cool mountain section here at Mount Panorama in Australia. Bathurst, of course, is how more commonly known, from the 24 hours and the 12 hours and the 10 hours and the 8 hours and the overnight and all the other races of Bathurst. Of which there are many. They used to do a lot of motorcycle racing around here, but they no longer do that. They've had one F1 race around here, believe it or not. Many years ago. But they don't do they don't do motorcycles, and they don't do open wheel racing here. Just because of it's a death, it's a track for killing essentially. Quite easy to die around here. So that's why they don't do motorbikes or single-seater open-top car racing. Right, so Kevin is coming down the Conrod. He's going to win this race quite significantly. Here he goes over the crest of the hill. And we'll just follow him through his last few corners. Just look at the inputs, how smooth it all is. Just a little feathering of the steering wheel. Changes down, no movement, still near the steering wheel. Hardly turns it to get the car turned in. Back on the power again, comes down to Murray Corner, very last turn in, on the brakes at the 50 metre pool, gets it turned in, and there is your winner, double winner today, Kevin 77, across the line to take double bubble points, of course. Here comes Demos, he will come home in 2nd place, just 10 seconds back from his mentor, and it's a Greek 1, 2, 3, a Sturban. Brings it home in the 3rd podium spot. Wiggy for Wales, flying the flag for us Brits and proving that actually we're not all fucking slow. In 4th place, and there comes GMAC, also flying the British flag in 5th place. Another Greek driver in Thanos, there he goes, across the line in 6th place with Avalon Shadow, the German Serb in the Spanish flag. 7th, Fubar in 8th. Willard lives literally around the corner from me. In 9th place, and bringing up the rear, another Greek, Canados. So there's your top 10. Kevin from Demos, Sturpan, Wiggy, and GMAC, Thanos, Avalon, Fubar. Host has ended the game. Was a host ended the game quite so quickly? Don't know, but there we go. Done and dusted. All finished. Finito. So thank you very, very much. It's been awesome you joining me. We had a few problems with the lobby early doors, but we're done and dusted. I'll update the results tomorrow, and then we'll go through it next week. Not much left to say except thank you for joining me. Tomorrow from 8:45 Eurotrips F1. Don't believe that, we're not at Britain for Silverstone. That was last week. I just didn't update it. And then of course we're back with the Porsche Cup this weekend at Watkins. No, not we're at Road Atlanta Porsche Cup. It will be midnight on Friday night, Saturday morning for Division 3. Then Chris Ball will be doing Division 1 from 11:30 on Saturday evening, and then I'll be then you can, sorry, 11 o'clock on Saturday evening. You can join me from 12:30 Saturday night, Sunday morning for all the action from Division 2. I've been Empire. This has been Black Flag Racing TV. Thank you very much for joining me.